What did you decide to do?
We stopped. We literally just stopped and let the snow go by, and we had contingencies in the sense of plans whereby we could go to an interior and wait until the snow stops, or what we would do is just go to another location. We actually substituted Canada with North Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're simple.
Yeah. Nobody knows. It looks fine. So yeah, we did that. So we just kind of hopped and skipped around as best we could. As I said, the weather would change on us, then we would do something else and go to another location, whether it be exterior or interior. So yeah, that's part of the game.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever make substitutions for other types of things in your movies besides locations? So let's say maybe like, how does the dubbing work, or
You mean in terms of ADR or in the sense of the movie itself?
well, in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
as you're making the movie,
Yeah.
is the sound actually, and I'm a neophyte in this, so bear with me, is the sound actually as they're speaking, or do they redub that at a later time?
Well, we have what we call a scratch track. So on location, we're out there with a sound recording device, and that sound recording device will record your voice live on location. Now, after editing the film, going back and listening to it, if the quality is too poor, we will do what we call ADR, is in repairing that dialogue, taking the person back into a recording facility. They will sit and watch their performance on screen and literally do, it's just matching your
Like
voice.
a voiceover?
You listen to yourself, and you have to do it exactly the way you did it before. So what happens is you have that clean track, minus car noises, airplanes, whatever, and
I always
you-
wondered how they did that.
yeah,
It-
it's pretty tough, and that's another aspect of acting, because you can be on location, everything is working well because you have the performer or the other actor or actress in front of you that you're working with, and then we're saying, well, you know, the coverage on this person here is not what we like in terms of just the quality of the sound. You bring the person back into the studio, they sit there and they watch, but the director has to bring them back to where they were in terms of that performance. So it is very, very difficult, because you have to get yourself prepared mentally, emotionally, take yourself back to that character and make it work out again.
And it's amazing that the timing is always so accurate.
Well, I learned this, we just did it a lot with this film, and with technology being the way it is today, it makes it very, very easy. I mean, I couldn't believe what I saw in terms of how they do this, but I had to do a lot of this myself, and we had a couple other actors that came back in and did the same thing.
Okay. Now, the release date of this, the movie is already out and about in several. Can you mention for our audience where they might be able to see it?
We opened in Phoenix, Dallas, Fort Worth, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. And for us, opening there would be more of a test and seeing demographics in terms of how the film was going to do with certain demographics, as I say, in terms of just certain types of people. And our next plan is that the film went a week. We did what we wanted to do. We accomplished what we wanted in terms of gathering reviews and so forth, which helps build our ad campaign for the next part of the release, which we anticipate being the 23rd of March, where we will open in St. Louis, Cincinnati, Memphis, and Indianapolis.
Okay. And we're not sure yet when we're going to get to see it in Hollywood, right?
Probably the next couple, maybe 3 months. I mean, after that. Because
okay.
it's a matter of, we're going out with limited prints. It's not going to be 2,000, 1,000, or anything like that. We'll probably stick with the 28 to maybe 35 if it grows that much. But it'll just stay in limited release. So the issue, of course, is just not going out spending too much money, but enough money on advertising where we can make some money.
Are there any film festivals that you've entered this film?
No, the film festivals.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Tell me.
Film festivals are not for me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, but for an individual who is seeking distribution, I think it's a wonderful place to go, because you do have a lot of distributors there, but I'm not making what you would consider to be festival fare. This is more along the lines of commercial, and then we have distribution, so the festival situation isn't necessary. However, we did screen it at the Sarasota Film Festival, just for fun, just to get audience reactions from the film and so forth, because that is a nice venue, or a nice environment to be in, because you can watch the film with people around you and just gather some sort of input from regular people.
What was their reactions? What was your reaction to their reaction?
People see things that I don't see, and I have people saying that, you know, some of the quotes we've got from some of the critics, they think it's a great action film. it's not an action film, but they saw it that way. Or, you know, people are looking at it as being gruesome or gory, but there isn't anything in there like that. So it just depends on the individual watching the film. But people like it. As I said, it's something different. Plus, it's something different for me as well. We've incorporated black and white in the color footage, flashbacks, and so forth. So it's more of a, as I said, a character-driven suspense drama as opposed to what I was doing before, which was primarily action. So people are enjoying the film, definitely.
Okay. All right, well, let's take another commercial break, and we'll be right back with Mr. Rogers. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
You can always reach us at www.thevictrollashow at KCLAFM.com, also on web radio, KCLAFM.com. You also can email me at Victrola, VICTROLA, KCLAFM.com. So please give us a listen, let us know what you think, relate to us through your email. We'd be happy to hear from you. And be on the lookout for this film. Again, could you tell us the title again?
Forgive Me, Father.
Okay, very good. Is that Forgive Me, Father, for I Have Sinned, or?
Exactly, yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay, I like that. I like the title. How did that all come about, the title?
Typically, everyone hears "Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned," and throughout the film, this is the dialogue you hear. This individual is able to justify all of his killings by way of what he reads in the Bible, and he gives the individuals, as in the victims, the opportunity to absolve themselves of those issues.
Okay. Now let's see. The film will be released in Europe. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And what do you find is the difference between the audiences in Europe and the United States?
Well, over the years, as I said, making action films, you have to look at, am I going to make this film for Europe or the United States first?
Would there be a difference in that thinking?
Different as in the mindset and the sensibility. They love the American films, the action films. However, everything needs to be a little faster paced for them. Over here, they would call it gratuitous action and violence because we've made it for that audience over there. But if we make it another way, as in for the American audience first, where the people here like to see a decent story, character development, and so forth, over there sometimes it's considered slow. Yeah, but there's a definite difference. So when making something like this, we've got to decide, are we going to make it for America first, or are we going to make it for Europe first? And typically you see that a film over here that does well, if it does really well, is in a large film, it's going to do well in Europe because you've got a major distributor actually controlling the distribution overseas as well. But for independent films, it makes it a little more difficult.
And it makes it difficult to be in Europe?
No, it makes it very difficult to control the film in terms of making it here, making it work well, and then taking it over there and have the same thing work the same way because, as I said, because they do control the distribution outlets over there, like they do here, makes it a lot easier.
Okay.
Independence, it's not that way. You go through independent distributors, and they're struggling to do what I was talking about before in terms of screen space with the exhibition, video shelf space, television programming, and so forth. So, you know, the majors have the power, and they can do a lot of things that the independents cannot.
And where do you fit in that category?
In terms of my films are released pretty much everywhere in Europe. I don't have those problems because they're looking at me as an American action hero, whatever you want to call it. But I've been selling the films, as I said, to them since probably '85, and they look at me, as I said, it's American action films. This is, as I said, a little bit different in that it's not action, it's character, suspense, all these other things, and so they'll probably scratch their heads a little bit and say, well, why are you doing this? But it's not going to be a problem.
Okay. Let's see.